Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test server and the patch is up. That is right, guys. It actually came up this morning. The maintenance is complete. Now, there's a couple questions that I really want to go over through the patch notes, but we're going to look at everything else in here, and it's going to be around the Temple Rift. Now, overall, we know that we did get a new union right down here. That is right, guys. It is the union of Nara and Sonya. Now, we know Nara really is not used for really much of anything anymore. Sonya still does see a little bit of play overall, just because she is still within a couple different game modes. But overall, again, not super impressed with the union. I'm not sure why they wouldn't make it more prevalent to having a couple heroes that are more current. Again, Sonya is in the Twisted or the Treasure Scramble, but I believe at this point that is literally the only place that she is used. In Nara, as much as I love her, I do not know that she is used anywhere at all, short of the Greatborn Tower, so it could help a little bit out of there, but that is the new union. In addition, guys, within the merchant store, they actually added, if you're a whale, and I want to see if it's worth it because I'm not exactly sure, within the merchant ships, they have added awakened heroes. That is right, guys. You can look, we have Taylene, we have Thane, and we have Aziz in here. I'm not sure if these are going to change on the rotation, because if I remember correctly, I believe some of these heroes do change in here. But as you can see, there are going to be shards with these heroes, which means acquire 60 soul shards and you will get an awakened copy of a hero. Which, looking at the heroes that we have even right here, Thane is probably the only one that I would still probably get at this point. But looking at the cost, now you can get the set right here for $5. So 4, 5, 6, 7 shards. Let me open up the calculator here, guys, because I'm not 100% sure if this is really going to be worth it. I'm going to pop it right over here. So if we need 60 shards, and essentially we have, what, 4, 5, 6, we get 7. So you're talking about 8 purchases, 8.5 purchases, depending on the shards, $5 each. You're paying around $42 for that hero. I guess it's kind of worth it. Roughly the value, and again, I believe looking at some of these packs, to get the heroes is roughly around $50 to get one of the heroes. But I believe, again, I think that it is a higher cost for the awakened heroes. Overall, guys, not exactly sure if it's worth it. Again, kind of looking at the breakout, if these run about $42 for your 60 shards, interesting to see. So about $50. Now, I don't have any of the packs in here. This is actually stacked full of packs depending on where you are. Because I am a complete free-to-play player over on here, we do not have the option. But within the advanced ship, looking at the awakened heroes again, even down here, right there is $99. I know it does have the emblems in there, so we do get the time emblems out of there. But overall, looking at the builds in here, guys, roughly $50 for a hero, so it is a little bit beneficial. But again, it does not have a good hero choice, in my opinion, out of there. Looking in the ship, again, some players might decide to get this one. I know this one you are going to get free, but again, looking at the cost, roughly $5 for 7 shards, $42 for a hero, which was the addition from the patch notes. Now, the big thing that I want to talk about, guys, is we know 410, the new heroes are going to be coming up. So we're getting the 2 new heroes, which means resources you're going to work with. The adventure is coming, the new Voyage of Wonder. Now, the big thing is the Temple Rift, guys. Now, this is where a lot of conversation has really been kind of going awry. So I want to run through this, and I want your honest feedback so we can provide it to Lilith on what are your expectations, what are you thinking when you read these Temple Rift notes. So the event period is going to be adjusted to 60 days. Now remember, that is down from 90 days, which means a third of the time for the Temple Rift is now getting cut. So what is that going to entail? And again, I'm thinking question-wise on what we could have. It'll become available again after a period of time. For specific, refer to the in-game announcements. Now, with it being a shorter period, one, is that going to be less loot because there are going to be less floors. That is probably one of the biggest concerns. Is when I look at the Temple Rift personally, it is the time aspect, guys. I pushed 800 floors last season. It takes an absolute incredible amount of time to push 800 floors going through there, which again is the reason. So number one, I guess the questions that I wanted to cover, and really if you have any outstanding questions, definitely put them in the comments down below. One, with it being a shorter duration, with it being less floors, is it going to affect the loot? What is going to be the impact of the loot? That if I'm a player that wants to grind out the Temple Rift to hit all 800 floors, what is the loot going to look like if, let's say, this is 500 floors, whatever it may be? What is the loot going to look like within there? New badge system, again, this is going to be a giant question mark. Now, with the badge system changes, hero badges are changed to team badges. Does that mean we're only getting one badge, or are you going to have multiple badges? And of the multiple badges, how many badges are there going to be? Adventurers are to select a team badge they wish to carry before a challenge and strengthen the badge during the challenge, which what I think, similar to the badges we have right now, you're going to put a badge into the team badge. As you continue to level up, you're going to have the ability to actually level these team badges up higher, which also seems like the Temple Rift is going to be an entirely new game mode based on the badges that they're having in here, because it is going to change the dynamic fundamentally of the heroes. So again, I want to see exactly how this is going to work. A lot of question marks about this game mode, guys, and fundamentally the changes. Now, this is another one. I've been getting a lot of questions about this stat stability. When a player's stability is 0, all the heroes in their initial state by default at the start of each battle. When stability value is 0, battles cannot be initiated. So I'm thinking that is going to be the ability to go through floors. It is what I'm thinking. So if you're greater than 0 stability, when you hit 0 stability, you cannot go into any more battles. So you're going to have to essentially let this stability, I guess, restore, because it says it can be restored by effects of a room, which makes me again think that there's going to be a room where the stability of the heroes are going to be restored based on going in there, kind of like the floras do, that we're going to get this stability back. At the end of each battle, they lose stability based on the battle's outcome. So again, if you win, you might not lose any stability. If you lose, you might lose stability points to retry, which makes me wonder again if the rewinds are going to be gone. That's going to be the other part, guys. Are these rewinds going to be gone with the patch? Reward update, the new Medal of Courage, not really too worried about that. To the defense force, adjusted the effect of certain rooms as well as the effects and the level up consumption in the temporal beacon. So now, is that going to be a complete rework with the beacon? Again, changing the big is it going to change the whole entire game mode because of the beacons that you can assign on heroes, again, which are going to affect the heroes? The EXP from the temporal armament no longer increases with its level. So again, the lower levels, I believe, compared to the higher levels, are going to have the same increase, which gives a much lesser advantage to players that are actually pay to win, putting a lot more in here because the temporal armament, as you got further down, you actually got more resources. That is going to be gone. And then it looks like the Grand Hunt is closed, meaning the Grand Hunt is going to be gone as well, which also reminds me, one, what happens to the frames? We can't get them going forward. And number two, what point are we going to get up some of this loot that we were getting out of the Grand Hunt? It was a good mode, but what is going to happen with the loot that we're getting out of the Grand Hunt? So again, the Temporal Rift, guys, is really coming in with a big question mark at this point. And I hope that you can put your questions down before, again, put them in the comments about the Temporal Rift, guys. I know, again, this information we're going to ship over to Lilith. We're going to ship over to AFK Arena. They had some questions. What are we seeing on Discord? What are we seeing on Reddit? What questions are we seeing about the Temporal Rift? Sorry, guys, so that'll do it. Again, patch notes, not too much going on until we get the new heroes, till we get the Temporal Rift up. The rest of it just kind of a cosmetic with both the unit and the ability to get those awakened heroes. So again, guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.